The Battle of Midway, a critical naval engagement during World War II, took place from June 4 to June 7, 1942, near the Midway Atoll in the Pacific Ocean. This pivotal battle between the United States Navy and the Imperial Japanese Navy marked a significant turning point in the Pacific theater of World War II. The Battle of Midway was fought over strategic control of the Pacific and had far-reaching implications for the outcome of the war. The setting of the Battle of Midway was the remote Midway Atoll, a small chain of islands located approximately 1,300 miles northwest of Honolulu, Hawaii. The Midway Atoll served as a crucial outpost for the United States in the Central Pacific, providing a vital refueling and repair station for American forces operating in the region. The strategic location of Midway made it a prime target for both the United States and Japan in their efforts to control the Pacific. The Battle of Midway was fought as part of the larger conflict in the Pacific theater of World War II, where the United States and its allies were engaged in a fierce struggle against the forces of Imperial Japan. Following the surprise attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941, the Japanese had rapidly expanded their control over much of the Pacific, threatening American interests and territories in the region. The United States, determined to turn the tide of the war and halt Japanese expansion, planned a daring counteroffensive at Midway. The battle was fought between the United States Navy, under the command of Admiral Chester W. Nimitz, and the Imperial Japanese Navy, led by Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto. The Japanese forces, seeking to lure the American fleet into a trap and deal a decisive blow, launched a massive operation to capture Midway and eliminate the remaining American carriers in the Pacific. The American forces, aware of the Japanese plans thanks to successful code-breaking efforts, prepared to intercept the enemy fleet and defend Midway at all costs. The Battle of Midway began on June 4, 1942, when Japanese carrier aircraft launched a series of devastating air attacks on Midway Atoll, aiming to soften up the defenses and prepare for a landing operation. However, the American defenders, despite being outnumbered and outgunned, put up a fierce resistance and managed to inflict significant damage on the Japanese air forces. The American carrier aircraft also launched daring attacks against the Japanese carriers, scoring critical hits and sinking several enemy ships. On June 5, both sides continued to exchange airstrikes in naval engagements, with the American carriers Enterprise, Hornet, and Yorktown playing a crucial role in the battle. The Japanese carriers Akagi, Kaga, Soryu, and Hiryu, key elements of the Imperial Japanese Navy's striking power, came under sustained air attacks from American dive bombers and torpedo planes. In a series of intense dogfights and bombing runs, the tide of the battle began to turn in favor of the United States. One of the pivotal moments of the Battle of Midway occurred on June 4, when American aircraft from the carrier Yorktown launched a daring torpedo attack that severely damaged the Japanese carrier Soryu. This successful strike, followed by additional attacks on the carriers Akagi and Kaga, dealt a crippling blow to the Japanese carrier force and shifted the balance of power in the battle. As the battle raged on, with both sides suffering heavy losses in aircraft and ships, the Japanese carrier Hiryu launched a counterattack that resulted in the sinking of the Yorktown. Despite the loss of the Yorktown, the American carriers continued to press their advantage and launched further strikes against the remaining Japanese carriers. In a series of coordinated attacks, the American carriers Enterprise and Hornet inflicted severe damage on the Japanese carriers, eventually sinking 3 of them. By June 7, the Battle of Midway had reached its conclusion, with the Imperial Japanese Navy suffering a decisive defeat. The loss of 4 aircraft carriers and a significant portion of their experienced aircrews dealt a severe blow to Japanese naval power in the Pacific. In contrast, the United States Navy emerged victorious, having successfully defended Midway Atoll and destroyed a significant portion of the Japanese carrier force. The outcome of the Battle of Midway was a strategic triumph for the United States, as it halted Japanese expansion in the Pacific and shifted the momentum of the war in favor of the Allies. The battle also showcased the effectiveness of American naval aviation, innovative tactics, and intelligence gathering capabilities, which played a crucial role in the victory. In conclusion, the Battle of Midway stands as a testament to the courage, skill, and determination of the men who fought in this historic engagement. The battle, fought over the remote expanse of the Pacific Ocean near the Midway Atoll, demonstrated the importance of naval power, air superiority, and strategic planning in modern warfare. The decisive American victory at Midway not only turned the tide of the Pacific War but also marked a significant step towards the ultimate defeat of Imperial Japan and the end of World War II.